everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, as always, my awesome co-host, Jose Romero.
Greetings, salutations, Eric, and nerds around the world. We're back at it again. We took a week off because we were, or at least I was, in Nerd Central, nerd capital of the world in a particular week. I was at San Diego Comic-Con, enjoying all the good stuff out there.
All the sneak previews, the big gets, the big talks.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff came out of it. We're going to jump into all that. That's for what I saw, what I
Who
didn't
you met.
see. Who we met, which a thumbnail should have who we met. But we'll get into that. All that kind of goodness. It was a good time. I love going to Comic-Con. I go every couple of years. I go more or less 2 or 3 years. Depends. I'll probably go in 2 years. But yeah, it was a good time, Eric. I texted you a bunch of stuff that I was seeing at the time. So we'll talk about all that, break it down. And then we'll do a little Superman. And then we never got your reaction to it. Formally, anyone on the show. I haven't seen Fantastic Four. You have, I assume.
I have. I will give you a non-spoiler review.
Of course. I'm going to ask a couple of spoiler questions. So we'll get into that. I'm kind of curious.
Absolutely.
A couple of little nuggets here and there, dude. But, listen, it was a really cool week. I was very happy with everything that I saw. It was very exciting to come back from that. It was almost like Christmas in July, right? Particularly if you're a nerd and geeky. So, good Lord.
Dude, so far, I got to say, I look, inadvertently, this July, not only did I see Superman Fantastic Four, but I also, on a lark, saw Jurassic Park. So I've knocked out all the major July movies. All of it. It's all in the belt.
Fair enough. I mean,
I can say
we all make mistakes.
2 out of 3 are great.
Fair enough. I hope you say that.
Two?
Well, I can only speak up to one. Well, 2 of them. I know one ain't great, and I think we both know what that is. But that said, let's start. And we'll do Superman quickly because I know it's passe already. It's been 2 weeks, and God forbid. But your thoughts on Superman? I really liked it. I saw it a second time. I liked it a little bit less the second time. If I'm being perfectly honest. It's still great, but I think it was A-.
Yeah, you gave A-. Yeah.
I'm thinking more maybe B+ to an A. But whatever, small things. But it's still really good.
I will say, after watching Superman, I kind of feel the same way you did. I'm giving it A-. And it's been 2 weeks, so full spoilers at this point.
Oh yeah. Listen, if you haven't seen it, whatever.
Yeah, seriously, get on. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
If you're broke, hey, I'm sorry, but if you have money and disposable income, then blow it out because you should have seen already.
Superman, of course.
Yeah, you should watch one sober, once intoxicated, see which one you had the best time. That's it. I'm gonna say I agree. The first act. First 20, 25 minutes, a little clunky. Some moments, but you're trying to figure out how does this all fit in. And it's not until, for me, the moment that the movie clicked was when Lex threw Superman in jail. And it is black hole jail. Once Superman ended up in there, I was like, this movie is fantastic. I was in. But it didn't click for me until then. And I think the reason why is... Fair. Yes, they're doing a lot of world building, so it takes you off a little bit. But at the same time, like the interview moment with Lois and Clark, fantastic. Like I was like, this is really good. But then the rest of the movie never gets to that level. So I was like, so where's the tone? Because they throw like 6 different tones at you, and you're trying to figure out what is the tone. Is the tone the whole Superman crypto dynamic? Is it the relationship dynamic? Is it the Lex Luthor manipulated the system dynamic? Is it sort of funny? Is it like edgy but like lighthearted? Like I'm trying to figure out, and I think it's almost like trying to forge a diamond out of coal, and you have all this pressure kind of, and it doesn't solidify until when Superman gets in jail. It just is effortless and fun, and I really liked it. But leading to that, I was a little bit confused. Some of the stuff that I know you said you had an issue with was like the scene where Superman goes to kind of take a breath because the rest of the Justice Gang can handle the start thing. You said it's a 5th dimensional imp. Essentially, it's Mr. Mitsopidalic or something from Mr. Mitsopidalic's world. Batmite is also a 5th dimensional imp. So so I was like, that's kind of cool. In my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure Mr. Terrific's gonna figure out a way to make that thing say his name backwards, and now it disappears. So fine, go with it, no problem. Nobody was really laughing, but it was kind of like mildly entertaining to have this pseudo-sincere conversation while something ridiculous, like not ridiculous, but otherworldly is happening in the background.
Right? Yeah. Somewhat ridiculous, but not really. But I get it.
Right, but to me, like I realized that like it all came back to the crawl in the beginning of the movie, which James Gunn has this hyper fixation with threes. I love it. 300, 30,
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
33. I was like, all right, cool. I'm in. Let's go. It's just that because this kind of insanity has been happening for 300 years, you kind of get a little like if this was day one insanity, yeah, panic in the streets.
Oh,
300 years of it, you're like,
sure. As far
oh
as that
god,
part, for sure,
another,
yeah, obviously.
you
It's
know,
like another alien, whatever.
yeah. It's like Haley's
Okay,
Comet. It comes out once every 20 years or something like that. I'm
right.
like, oh god,
Uh,
I gotta get a summer home. I can't be here
Here
next
we
time this
go.
happens.
They probably have
So
like bunkers at home now. I get
uh,
it.
yeah,
Fair.
you need imp insurance. Like it's a lot. It
Yeah,
is,
true, true.
but I will
More money.
say,
Oh.
one for me, one of the biggest laughs was the cavalcade of cyber monkeys bad mouthing Superman. Like
Oh
online,
no, yeah.
like that's like I was like, this is great. This is how do you take the idea of like Twitter bots and make it comic book super villainy? Make them cyber
No,
monkeys.
really.
All about
I
that.
saw people didn't like that. I was okay with it, but I know some people like
I
whatever.
literally
But I liked it. It was
I
fun.
guffawed
Yeah,
out loud.
yeah.
I was very much into it. I like the twist. I like the we talked about the Supergirl cameo. I also like the spoiler alert, the Peacemaker cameo. That's pretty great in there
That was
too.
great. Yeah, I love
I was
that.
very excited about
Yeah,
that. I mean, at the end of the day, I was a little bit. I wanted. I felt like I needed a little bit more Superman. Just like I love the fight with Ultraman.
yeah.
I love the speech with Lex. I love the
Agreed.
big battle with the Raptors. I think I even the fight between Ultraman and the Engineer. Dope. I loved
That
all
was cool.
that.
Yeah. That thing,
Uh,
Mr. Terrific, was great.
right, Mr.
That one
Terrific.
scene, awesome, awesome scene.
That, but
Yeah, so
you know
cool.
I really liked Guy Gardner. I mean the fact that he put oven mitts on the kaiju was hilarious and very much a Guy Gardner like I'm not that creative. I just don't stop until it gets done. So it's gonna be a lot of basic imagery, but I'll take care of it. Here's the thing I would say. I think the thing that I wanted a little bit, and let's just kind of address the squirrel in the room. I no problem with the Superman squirrel save. I actually applauded. I was like, bravo! Yeah, like I was excited about that. I would have liked a little bit of because Superman is learning. I like that they emphasized his compassion and trying to figure out better ways to do things. I like that. What I would have liked, just and this is just me, this is me nitpicking a little bit. I would have liked it if maybe the kaiju hit him, and for a second he hit the kaiju back harder than expected. He was like, "Oh, sorry, big guy." Like it's almost like when like two kids are roughhousing and one hits
Sure.
the other kid harder, and you're like, "Ooh, sorry." Like I would have liked a little bit of that just to kind of go, "Oh, he's holding back." Never forget, this dude's holding back. Like I would want a little bit of that. But besides that, I definite A minus on that. Really enjoyed it. I want to see it a second time. So, but
Okay.
I had a good time, great experience with the kids.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. I think it did enough. I mean, I don't think it as a collective. Speculation. I don't think it did enough to get like, oh my god, to get everybody just the casual fan like this is go want more DC, right?
right,
It did enough not to damage the brand.
right. It didn't damage.
We will see what happens moving forward.
I, I will
But
say this: I saw my kids and my parents went to go see it. My dad's 80. My mom is
okay,
63. All right. Um, I asked my parents, "What do you guys think of the movie?" And my mom goes, "I liked it, but it was too crazy." Now,
fair.
mind you, she's going from Christopher Reeves. She never saw Man of Steel.
Sure,
She's going
sure.
from Christopher Reeves to this. So I understand. Big jump. My dad was like, Superman can't get beat up all the time. What happened? Why is he beating up all the time? I was like, Dad, you see Superman beat everybody up. Now they're just showing it's a little bit harder because he's starting again. He's
Sure.
like, I don't know. I don't think Superman should get beat up that much. I was like, yeah, but he won the fight though. He's like, eventually. So, but they still both enjoyed it.
Sure.
And I think that's it with the kids. The kids walked out of the theater singing the "I'm a punk rocker, yes I am" for
Yeah.
like 3 days.
I think the kids probably hit better with kids than
Yeah,
the older.
which is something I'm going to
Yeah.
bring up when we
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
I know with as I took when the second time I went, as I took my stepdaughter and my wife, and they're pure casual because they don't watch as many as I do.
Sure,
But even the Marvels, they used to watch a lot. They don't watch any more of it. And the stepdaughter, she's almost out of that world. Like she likes more hardcore action, John Wick, Mission Impossible. That's her
sure,
thing.
sure.
So, hey, great. They just thought it was okay. So okay, they, thought it was fine. Then they weren't like, oh my god. Like I said, my wife's still hung up on Henry Cavill, so she's still mad about that. Fair enough. But what? Yeah. So I mean, I think consensus. I think a lot of people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think you and I spoke. It needed to be like it should have been up
We
here, right?
wanted it to be
But it was still very good. It's still very good, very
it's
entertaining.
very good.
Entertaining.
It's
It's a
nowhere
good
near
start. Yeah.
like it literally when I don't have when all I have is nitpicks and not complaints. That is as
Sure.
close to
Yeah.
great as you can get.
It's
It's
very no doubt.
nitpicks, not
Yeah.
complaints.
Exactly. And yeah, did well. The box office thing, I'm not high, and both of these movies weren't great. They were good, not great. So again, we talked about we'll see how these do in terms of, but forget the quality, just in general how they do, and are people getting tired of this stuff or they're not seeing it like they used to. And I think both movies
I think
has
it's
suffered
gonna
from
be
that. I
a
don't
lot
know.
of people are waiting for that word of mouth to see how it's going to carry over.
Maybe
It's that hesitancy of it all. I will say, this came out an article recently with Kevin Feige that they are recalibrating the movie going audience because it for the
it's not
time
what it is.
being
Yeah,
it's not going to be the way it was in like
it's
2019.
not, and regardless of quality, I don't think. I mean, like
Right.
Avengers, not because Avengers make money, and maybe Spider-Man, like Spider-Man, that's OG, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like Batman. No matter
Sure.
what, they're gonna make money.
Like
Fine,
Deadpool Wolverine needed two major heavy hitters to hit that bill. You know what I mean?
right, of course.
So
But and Deadpool was such a love property, so whatever. But
right,
that's not your typical superhero film.
right.
But Avengers is gonna bank. We all know this. I get it. But generally speaking, it just movies just I don't know. People like on going back to repeat viewings because even Thunderbolts they opened fine, but they had no legs, right?
Right.
And Superman second
And
weekend was solid and it's doing well and it looks like it's probably gonna make a little bit of money, a little bit. I didn't expect it to be a $1 billion film, never.
right.
Um, Fantastic Four is off to a lesser start. I don't know what the budget is, but it is curious to see that I don't think people are going back to see it multiple times because you make $1 billion and people are watching it multiple times,
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
either A, they didn't like it that much, maybe, or they just I can see it once and then see it on Disney Plus.
I think that's the problem.
And I think
All of us have been
that's a
sort of
factor. Yes,
trained to
yeah,
to
we've been
stream it.
conditioned to that, right? So it
Yeah,
goes back to
and
these
so
studios. Yeah, they need to lower the budgets. It's just too high because
it
you're
is
not going to make that kind of money. It's clear this movies aren't making that kind of money. Avengers will, and I get it. That's a poor example. Anybody uses that, like, oh, look at that. That's a poor example.
right,
And maybe that one doesn't do as well either. Who knows?
right. Who
But
knows?
I think it will. But I think this budget's got to come down, man. You can't do $250 million. It just doesn't work anymore. People aren't going in droves as they used to anymore.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the fatigue, streaming, whatever. It's 100 reasons I can come up with. It's not just fatigue. I'm not really buying that. But
If you target 150 million, 180 million, like almost
I
around,
think yeah,
that,
for like a
that's
big movie,
that's
for like a big known property, like
Right.
Clayface as an example. Clayface should
Sure.
never be anywhere near that fucking. It should
No.
be 40, 50 minutes at best, right?
Easy.
So you gotta taper it. But yeah, like a Fantastic Four, Superman 2, gotta bring that down. But I don't know what the budget in Supergirl is. I have no idea. But I'm curious. I still think Supergirl is a mistake releasing it.
You
second.
know what? I actually don't. I actually think
I mean-
it's a fun because it's almost like a commentary on Superman by watching Supergirl.
We're gonna enjoy. I think it's gonna be good, but just in terms of getting the numbers, getting that momentum, I don't think Supergirl was. It should have been Wonder Woman. It should have been Batman. But as far as like building that brand, let's go, and then you put in Supergirl in between there.
And the only thing that's keeping me off of your position is that I read the Supergirl story and I know how good it is. So if we get 60% of that comic book in the movie,
No, I think
it's gonna
the movie's gonna be
surprise
good.
people.
No, I think I'm talking about the quality. I think quality's gonna be good. I have no problem with that. I'm just thinking
Right.
about just box office and
Well,
momentum.
I'm also thinking
for
Jason
a studio.
Momoa as Lobo is gonna get butts in the seat too.
Aquaman
So-
2 didn't work for that, so I don't know. I
No,
don't
because
know.
but Aquaman was like sort of like it limped in, and this is sort of like a big new standing. Your
I'm curious to see what that opens. Because I honestly don't know, but I think I can guarantee you if it was a Batman's next or Wonder Woman, guaranteed money. Not $1 billion, but I'm talking about a sure thing. This
Sure.
Superman, let's come out and now they're fast tracking Wonder Woman. Duh. That's what they should have been done from the beginning. That should have been the Holy Trinity, and then come out with something in between. With Clayface, and
Fair.
it's not been the third movie at the gate. It just shouldn't, right?
Sure.
You want to put that in between those two, no problem. But you're trying to build a universe. Marvel can get away with it because Marvel has done so much shit. It's fine. And
Right.
it's not all going to be Avengers every single time. That said, listen, Fantastic Four, I didn't see it. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to see it, so I might have to wait till Disney Plus. Once it passes a weekend or two, I just don't go for anyway. Unless I hear
Wow.
it's the
Shock.
greatest thing anybody's ever seen. I see
Well,
too many movies and it's like things fall behind. It is what it is. I heard good things, not great things. I've heard good things generally. Very Superman like in terms of what I've heard from my friends and stuff like that. So that's good, right? Only one person said they hated it. A couple people said that, but whatever. Tomatoes, tomatoes. But you, man. So what do you think about? You saw it obviously,
I,
and
I,
what do you think?
I'll say this. I actually liked it a little bit more than Superman. If
Okay.
Superman is, let's say, mid to low A minus, I would put Fantastic Four high A minus. Like it's still A
Okay.
minus.
Okay.
But and
Okay.
I'll tell you why. It's because I felt like it was a little bit too short. I wanted a little bit more. So
Okay.
with Superman, I felt like I got a movie. I got a
Okay.
movie that eventually figured out what it wanted to tell me. With
Okay.
Fantastic Four, they knew what they wanted to tell me from the beginning to the end, and I was kind of like, I kind of needed another 25 minutes. Like I would
Really? Okay.
love that.
Interesting.
So I felt a little. There's things that you find out, I don't know if this is a spoiler, if I can mention this or not,
I
but
think let's go sport. No, heavy. Let's go sport. Listen, I probably won't see it for a while, and I'm gonna hear a lot of
and
shit.
this is not
So
even a spoiler, but like
fine. I'm
John
fine.
Malkovich got cut out of the movie.
Oh no, well yeah, I heard that before. Even
Yeah,
before it came out, I heard that. Yes.
and
Yeah.
that was I was really looking forward to it. Now, what they did was the first act of the movie is essentially sort of like a TV show recap of of who the Fantastic Four are for the past 4 years. So it's like a highlight
Okay.
reel.
Okay.
So in one of the sequences, you're showing Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal, is fighting one of the Red Skull super apes. And when I saw it, I was like, here goes Malkovich. And then they just cut to another montage
Cut
scene. I
it.
was like, where's Malkovich? So I was a little bummed out. Maybe because
Right. Right.
knowing too much, I was a little bummed out. I found out later, due to time constraints, they chopped up Malkovich's and a couple other villains intros and outros
Mm,
to so they didn't even finish the CG on it because they were like, for time we're gonna just make it like this. So they just focused on one moment.
interesting.
You did see they did recreate, which is pretty fun. They recreate the cover to Fantastic Four #1. You know how Little Caesars Pizza had that mock-up version of
Right.
it?
Right. Yeah.
They did like the real version of it, and I was like, "That's awesome!" Like, it's that people are like, "Is this for the movie? Because this looks horrible." Yeah, it's for the commercial, idiot. It's not for the movie. The movie one was like, "This is cool," and you
Okay.
saw very much a mole man heist happening, which is really
Okay.
cool. You see him getting arrested and doing that classic old school 60s comic book thing when they arrested him. He's like, I'll stop you next time. You can't see me. Like, I was like, that's great. A little villain monologue as they carry him away.
That's
Awesome.
funny.
It was fun. It was light. It was poppy. There are aspects of the Fantastic Four that I like that they didn't show. And I heard people complain like, oh, they weren't
Okay.
really arguing. Ben didn't really like lament being the thing. Johnny didn't bust Ben's chops as hard as he has. And I was like, we've kind of gotten those in the first three Fantastic Fours. And so to stand out, they just focus like, you've gotten the angsty, you've gotten the interfamily dynamics. We're gonna just make it like this has been doing 4 years. They've worked most of this out of their kinks. So now
Okay.
they're kind of like just functioning, and I kind of like that. So I would eventually want to see like in a sequel. I want to see more of that. But
Okay.
for intro in, no complaints.
Okay.
The CG on the thing looks great. Evan Baccarat, I hope I'm not butchering his name. Just I kind of wanted a gravelly voice thing, but I love the dude's tone anyway, so I was very much into that. The dynamic between Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, like that was probably one of my favorite things about it. Like they really leaned into the aspect of like Reed is so smart. Like there's a line in the movie where he says, "I don't dream, I don't fantasize, I think." I think all the time, and I think about the worst things possible because I need to know what to prepare for. And I'm like, I like
It's a
that.
good line.
Like it's a great way to
It's
kind
a
of
good line.
show. It's not like Tony Stark's effortless intelligence. Like, well, I get drunk and I hang out because my brain's always going. But when it goes, it's just nothing but ideas. He's like, I don't drink. I'm responsible, and
Mhm.
so becomes sober. It's just nonstop concepts. And so if I'm like, if I'm gonna have to think of it, let me think of everything. And if I think of everything, I have to think about the worst things to prepare for that, so I can be ready for good things to me.
Okay.
I thought that was a very like it hints at the dark potential of Mr. Fantastic, because in the Ultimate Universe, the Reed Richards of the Ultimate Universe becomes the thinker, and I mean, it becomes the maker, and he becomes a multiversal villain. So I'm like, I'm kind of hoping like we get to see the maker in the Doomsday, Doctor Doom of it all, because an evil younger Reed Richards who takes a dark turn will be kind of awesome to see. And they've sort of established that like, oh, all Reeds think too much. So what happens when one is like, you know what, this is just better. So I'm just going to pivot here, and it'll be a
Okay.
really fun way
Interesting.
to see it. So I kind of want to see that. They made Johnny smarter in the movie than he's ever been in the comics, and it's to give
It's
him a
fine.
reason to be there. And I get it.
Okay.
Some people are like,
Okay.
oh, reach out. Like, yeah, I know, but like, give him a thing to do. So they
It's
gave him
fine.
a thing to do. Vanessa Kirby, fantastic. No pun intended, but it's like she really nailed all the scenes. Galactus.
I heard it was
Oh,
cool. Cool looking. Yeah.
I read somewhere that the team that was working on the visual dynamic of Galactus, you know what they referenced? And I was like, this is brilliant. They referenced Fortnite, because when Marvel combined with Fortnite, the end chapter event was Galactus was attacking the Fortnite island, and Galactus really came in as this giant kaiju space entity, and they literally like that's the blueprint on how he needs to look to like regular people going in. So good, voice so dynamic, and the Shia LaBelle Silver Surfer. Um, Kind of wanted her to say, you know, shit about fuck, but because we can't do that because it is a PG-13 movie, like she looked great. Like this, dude, the visually, I miss Marvel movies looking this good. Like it looked good. There was time. Like nothing was rushed. The only thing that people have been sort of harping on, and I didn't have a big problem with it, was the baby. Spoiler alert: Franklin Richards, their first child,
Sure.
the reality warper Franklin Richards. He's introduced in this one. Uh, and there were times where it was clearly CG because you can't have a baby in that situation, and people were like, "Oh, I got." I was like, "It's dude, we're Space God, Silver Lady, Rockman, Fire Person. Like, what are we doing?" Now, if those look great, I'm gonna give this baby some slack. So, like, that was my big. Like, oh, well, let's let it go. But the story was almost simple, and it's because it was simple, it was brilliant because the problem is giant space god coming to eat you. What are you gonna do? And you got to figure it out. And I loved all the things that Reed had to do, good and bad, to figure out the final way out. I thought the dynamics were great. There is a third act scene where some people are going, "That's ridiculous. That would never happen." And I kind of feel that the people who are mad about this third act fight sequence are the same people who got mad at the girl from Prey. Oh, like a little girl supposed to kill. Like she struggles through all those fights, but she wins because she's smarter and she perseveres more. That is exactly I apply that to what was going on with Galactus in the third act fight. Just smarter and persevered more. Everything else really fun. The only thing that Fantastic Four didn't have that Superman had was that had like one or two fun needle drops. Fantastic Four all score. I think my
Okay.
kids said they liked Superman more than Fantastic Four, but I
Okay.
think it's because they liked the soundtrack more.
Mm.
I think overall, story wise, for me, Fantastic Four hit the ground running, and it knew what it literally knew what it wanted to tell so much they cut other things out to make that story work. And Superman had to lay down a lot of groundwork and eventually kind of go, and now it all comes together. And it's cool if you know it's going to happen. Like you said, you saw it a second time. Maybe you felt that it was a little bit more effortless, but you just said as well you didn't like it as much the second time. And I feel like I could watch Fantastic Four again and still get a lot out of it a second time. And it looks great on a big screen, man.
No, I'm,
So
I'm sure
yeah,
that no doubt, no doubt. Like it's for good things. I Do they show? Do they link it with the Ensign Thunderbolts with the ship? Or no? Is that linked at all?
No,
Okay.
but there is the end credit scene that we both heard about.
I heard that was in there, which shocked me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was shocked too.
It's like, okay.
But apparently, from what I read, an interview with Vanessa Kirby, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that was Robert Downey Jr. We filmed that with the Russo brothers,
Okay.
and that scene is in the movie." And
Okay.
so for me, okay, so we know the scene. Doom shows up,
Yeah.
and literally he's got the mask off, and he's kneeling down in front of Franklin Richards because the post-credit scene is 4 years after the end of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So he is 4 years old now. He's not a baby.
Okay.
He's 4 years old. So, and he's touching, his hand is inside the hood of Doom's face. So I'm thinking, oh, this kid heals up Doom's face
Okay.
because he's a reality warper, makes him look like Robert Downey Jr. Then he steals Franklin. And they trace his energy signature to the main MCU universe, and they're chasing that, and that's when the Thunderbolts clock the ship coming in.
Right.
That's to me, like, that's the most efficient way to do it, which is Doom, and then you find out Doom left that trail on purpose because he's trying to unite them because he wants to cause an incursion, which is kind of what's been going on with Doctor Strange. So I'm like,
Okay.
it all sort of, it's the easiest way to get things happening. Leave a trail that seems like you didn't do it, but you left it on purpose to cause things to happen, and now we go from there. That's what I think is going to happen. So it does link in the sense of, like, if Doom disappears with Franklin and he makes it look like he went to that universe, that's why they're going there.
Fair enough. So they do defeat Galactus then,
Now well, here's a great thing is
or I don't know.
they defeat him without killing him. They did not the Marvel thing. They defeated the villain without killing the villain, leaving him primed for sequels or to appear in other places, which is what they should have been doing since phase 2. But, that learn your lesson later. Cool. But yeah, they do defeat Galactus. And they defeat it in a really fun way that gives them time to breathe and welcome a victory. It's not oh man, he's going to be, it's like, no, we have a couple of years before he even becomes a threat again because of the way we defeat him. And it's a nice pivot off a plan that looked like it went wrong. They pivoted, and I was like a third act reveal, which is like, you have the plan goes sideways, but based on elements of the plan, you can concoct a new plan, and so it's all already set up there. You just gotta look at the plan from a different angle. I'm like, I like that. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Like I said, I heard good things. I really did. So I'm sure I'm gonna watch it at some point, but we'll figure that part out. One more thing on Marvel. It's a couple things came out. We'll focus on one, and that's Kevin Feige's. I didn't know he had a talent to drive buses. Because he came on an interview the other day, and big stink on the internet, and I understand why we do, because he was talking about Captain America 4, and it's the lack of success. And he attributed it more towards the fact that it's because it wasn't Chris Evans, as opposed to, and he said the writing was fine, everything was fine. It was just the fact that it's Sam Wilson. No, it's not, dude. Let's be real.
It was the writing. It was the writing.
It's a lot of things that I didn't see it, so I can't speak to it. But I heard
it was the writing and it was the directing, because certain scenes could have been done a little differently, and it wasn't. And I told you, one of my biggest things with Captain America 4 is that I've seen better fight sequences in Daredevil, and Captain America wasn't fighting on that standard. So I'm like, what is going on?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it wasn't Sam Wilson, and I feel bad because he kind of throws Anthony Mackie like I don't know if he intended. I don't think he understood what he was really saying.
Right.
Which is odd, because you're in that position. You should be knowing what you're saying. He's a veteran of this. He's not new. It's not his first rodeo. So it's very odd, and it's like, and some people mention the whole black thing. I'm not buying that at all. I don't want to hear that.
I'm not buying. I think it's more star power, star recognition versus race. Because
no, for sure, for nothing to do with race. I don't want to hear that, because it's not.
I mean, listen, Marvel.
It's everything else around that movie.
Marvel does so much to show characters of color that that's
it's
not
not that. It's not that. If that's what he's alluding to, he's sadly mistaken. It's just is what it is.
For him, he's literally looking at it as like a numbers thing. Like Chris Evans, bigger star, he would have put more people in seat, and that's all it is. And that's what I think.
Perhaps, but that's not why the reason it failed.
No, and I even disagree with that. You could
Yeah.
have Chris Evans in that movie, and the movie's writing was so lackluster, and
Right,
the action
exactly. Yeah.
sequences,
Yeah.
the hand to hand, the aerial action sequences were great. I said this before, but the hand to hand fighting was such a step down from a Winter Soldier. It even made Captain America, the first Avenger, look better in comparison to that. I was just like, what am I looking at
Exactly.
here?
Yeah, and it didn't work. The Red Hulk thing, or it was more Red Hulk than Captain America. That shouldn't be the case. It is, but yeah, it kind of like, come on, he's better than that. He shouldn't say that. That's a huge faux pas. And it
Yeah, you're
sucks.
doing a disservice to what actually worked on
That's right,
that. Yeah,
right. And
so
you do service to Sam Wilson, who
yeah,
to Anthony Mackie, who did a really good job.
yeah,
He's always been good. I liked him in areas, and even in the show he was good.
yeah.
They took a better approach in the show, all
They
things
really
considered, from
did.
what I hear, right, and that's unacceptable. So he could have just said, "Listen, we made some mistakes. Let's move on." But to sit there and say nothing was wrong is, come on. Let's be realistic. That's
Yeah,
not true, man. This guy's filming,
I even
Doomsday.
told
What
you.
does he feel like? Oh, really? It's my fault. Come
Yeah,
on.
I even told you one of the things that bummed me out was there was this really sincere moment that they did like a. You could tell it was like not a retake, but like a when they go back to shoot again. Uh, they took this like heartfelt scene and pivoted to like Marvel comedy, and I was
Oh,
like, no, like you couldn't.
hey.
This is does not helping the scene at all.
Yeah, and that happens a
So
lot with Marvel. That's been historically a thing. But yeah, I don't think this has zero to do with Anthony Mackie or the character. I really don't. I mean,
yeah,
could it be argued? Could have made a little more money? I guess. But to say it would have been good, no. Right? Like put
yeah,
same script, just switched, nothing would have changed as far as the quality of the film, for sure.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
the same. It's a bad script. It's a bad script. I don't care who's saying the lines. It is what it is. And Mackie's good.
And
So
if,
I don't.
and
And it's not like he acted bad. I never heard anybody say he acted bad.
if we're gonna be honest about it, Marvel pussied out by stepping away from making Sabra the Jewish character and keeping it more of an intense war
Yeah.
thing between Russia. Like they're like, oh, we don't do. Look, you can't pussyfoot back out and then go like, oh, it's actually because of the start. No, you
Yeah.
guys made a lot of bad
Yep.
choices based on what you assume the political climate is going to be about things, and that'll lessen your impact. Same thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier, the TV series. It's supposed to be about pandemics, but because there was a pandemic going on, you're like, we don't want to touch it. It's like, and it took away the teeth of the thing
Of
you're doing.
course. Listen, you're gonna commit. You can't go half-ass.
That's
Right?
it.
Like if you don't want to do a political commentary, fine, perfect. I prefer it that way.
Yeah.
But if you are,
But and own
commit
it.
to
And you
it.
got to own it.
Own it. Commit to it.
You can't be soft about it. You can't be
Yeah,
coy. You got like,
you in
let's
the
go in. We're gonna do a thing.
middle, yeah,
That's
or
it.
allude to it, and so,
Uh-huh.
no, you commit 100% because otherwise, it's a waste of time. It's a waste
Yeah.
of story time. It doesn't work. It
Exactly.
does not work. So
Exactly.
I get it. Yeah. So it's not Anthony Mackie. So Kevin Feige, shame on you for doing that. He's got to be better than that. That said, Comic Con, right? And I'll start with this part of the story because with the thumbnail, we'll have the picture of myself and, of course, I call him James, Mr. Gunn to the rest of you guys.
Pew pew pew.
So, I was heading back from Comic Con, and it's funny because I'm waiting for the my row to be called the zone or whatever, right? And I'm sitting like in the conference, like right behind first class, right, the conference sections, and we got lining up. There's one person ahead of me, and then I see someone walk by everybody straight to the desk, and there's a couple. At the time it looked like James Gunn. I'm like, dang, he's got the white hair. I'm like, that's like James Gunn, but really, come on, a commercial flight back. What are the odds? It's impossible. There's no way. So as we're going in, I'm looking at him because we use, this little line on the run, on the
Sure.
walkway to get to the plane. He's always kind of backed up, and he's there. I'm like, he turned to the side. I'm like, fuck, I think that's James Gunn, dude. And I saw the woman. I was like, let me see who the woman is. Maybe that's his wife or something.
Right.
I didn't know who she was. I'm thinking because maybe last thing I want to do is say, hey, are you James? Oh, you're not James Gunn. My bad. I'm a fucking asshole. Whatever. So we get in, and he's in the last spot before I get to my seats on the
Right.
first class. And one woman's ahead of me. She goes by. And I turned, I was like, oh, that's James. He was like, excuse me, you James Guy? And he's like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, shit. So, I was like, oh, my God, I don't want to be that guy. But I want to say, what's up, whatever. He's like, no, don't worry about it. He's super nice. He was super
That's great.
accommodating.
That's great.
He's like, no, I appreciate it. He's like, you came from Comic-Con? Yeah, I came from Comic-Con. I had a good time. He asked me if I saw Peacemaker, so I didn't get a chance to do the Peacemaker, the panel or whatever. But I'm super excited. I told him that Superman was really good, this and that. And I asked him, where's Batman? He's like, yeah, be patient. All right, cool, no problem. And he's like, I didn't want to ask for a picture. I really didn't want to be that guy because I know how that is. But he's like, no, hey, when I get a picture, like, fuck yeah, if you say it's okay, let's do it. So I snapped away because my friend of ours, of course, Attack Peter does a lot of artwork for Mondo. he had run into James Gunn. He had his picture earlier in one of the rooms in between the panels. So I was like, yeah, me too, bitch. So some of the things, but it was super cool. He was very humble, super nice.
By the way, listen, I'm glad you didn't want to be that guy. I'm glad he offered a picture. Mm-hmm. The fact you just say, hey, I do a podcast. Can you just say I'm James Gunn?
Well, I didn't want to be that guy.
Oh,
I definitely
man, you were right there.
I know, but you know,
like,
I didn't want to.
No, you would have been that guy.
I really wish I had like at least 2 or 3 more minutes, because I'm holding people up. I didn't give a shit. I'm like, yo, man, whatever. I'm like talking to James Gunn, fuck you guys, you know. But so I was kind of still conscious that people were in line. So
Fine.
you know, I was limited time. And listen, he's commenting and stuff. I didn't, you know, what am I gonna do? Yeah. If I was sitting in first class, I probably would just jump over and talk to him for a little bit. But yes, but it was really, really cool. It was a great way to end Comic-Con, to see James Gunn.
That's great.
And because of him being as humble and a comment, he could, you know, you hear stories and like, you know,
yeah,
whatever, right? All the time.
Exactly.
Well, don't bother me, whatever, and I get it. But he was complete antithesis of that, so good for him. So that was really nice to, you know, just talk for 2 seconds with him. So that was great.
Listen, if he couldn't have done the promo, you could have asked him, how close were you putting Living in America by James Brown or Born in the USA from Bruce Springsteen? Because I was met with this really loudmouth dude, and I try and figure it out. Like, you could have put it.
That's funny. It's a I need like 2 or 3 minutes. But I think if I saw him, like, if he was hanging out in the, you know, before they get into the plane, I probably, I don't know, because he got there as we're going in, right? So he was running behind. But I told my friend of mine, he's like, dude, why is he flying commercial? I'm like, I don't know, dude. It is what it is.
Well,
maybe DC don't pay. Maybe DC don't pay him much. I doubt that.
Look, I'm just saying, is like, if he needs to make it to Atlanta for whatever reason, he's got to make Atlanta. Give me the first flight. I'm out.
Private jets. You know, it's DC.
Listen,
Warner Brothers.
Listen,
you know, come on. Now.
We
He's
just
the head of
talking
DC.
about how Superman was an A- movie. If it was an A+ movie,
okay, that's fair.
Maybe
you're right.
You're flying first class commercial.
If Superman was on pace for $1 billion, he's, you know, fair.
Oh yeah. It would have been a jet on top of a jet.
I mean, forget it. But that was a nice moment. But anyway, look, Comic-Con's always great. It's a lot. That was an awesome. I'm sure you've seen online that went viral with the guy who dressed up as Galactus.
Oh yeah, that was incredible.
Oh my god! Wow, that was like 10 foot tall, ridiculous. It was amazing.
So good.
Oh my god, so good. You guys should cast it online. It's incredible. With the glowing eyes, it's very, very cool.
With the rotating things on the side of it,
on the
so
side.
good. All of it,
I mean,
so good.
Wow, it was like, I mean, you can't miss him. Obviously, he stands over the crowd like, oh, what the is that? Oh shit, it's good like this.
It's moving.
Yeah, I know it's moving. I mean, it was amazing. So, and it's just, and you next to it. God damn, it's legit.
Yeah, you think it was like 12 feet tall.
It looked like it, but I would guess at least 10 for sure.
Oh wow, okay.
And you got to see the picture videos with someone walking next to them to give you a good scale, a sense of scale is how big this thing was in comparison to anyone else. But when you see him walking in the crowds, I mean, it towers. Yeah, I mean, wow, it's amazing. Close.
Amazing.
I'm thinking at least 10, it may be more. I don't know.
Sure.
But kudos, that's a lot of money spent, man. Kudos to that guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's dedication. Right there.
I saw the team that made it put a video going through the whole process.
I saw something about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 3 or 4 guys who did the whole thing together. Yeah.
I would assume that's some kind of business because that's a lot of to invest. To show up at Comic-Con and hey, get some take pictures of me. Pretty cool. Listen, a lot of cool shit, and you know, I did get to see a lot of cool panels. I'll focus on a few, particularly on the Friday. I did mainly Hall H almost the whole day.
Nice.
Saturday, the only thing going on Saturday for Hall H wise was Peacemaker, which we tried. It wasn't gonna happen. We had some stuff early on. Had to make line early. It is what it is. But listen, a lot of cool shit. I will start with the least anticipated and move on to to the other. So the last one on Saturday was Friday was Tron Ares.
Right.
I'm a Tron guy. I wasn't a huge fan of the second film. But the first one is...
The second one was fine. It was like,
fine.
Okay.
It's a little lifeless.
The soundtrack was better than the movie. Let's be honest.
Correct. If that's the case, that's not a good thing. But it was fine. Yeah. It wasn't bad in a way. Just it was fine.
It was fine.
It looked good. Whatever. But I love the first one. It's ahead of its time, right?
Right.
I mean, and Kevin Smith actually moderated this panel and another panel we'll talk about. So he was out there, and he's one of us, right? He's a geek. Yeah. He's out there. He's doing his thing, right? And he was talking about it. And when the first computer graphics in the movie was Tron, and et cetera, et cetera. Jared Leto was there, of course. What's this guy? What's his name?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges was there. Most of the actors in the film. They showed a couple of the action scenes. I'll say this: this movie looks ridiculous, like visually. It's
I saw
beautiful.
The trailer. It looks
oh my god, beautiful. They showed out the one cycle action scene with the light cycles, and another one where they're in the grid or whatever, and he's the main character's with Jared Leto, who's I guess rejecting his program and they're trying to escape into the real world. Another great. Man, it looks beautiful. Man, I can see it at home with the TV. It looks nice. Oh my god, it's gonna be great. Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, who they got, and actually played a video in the end. Very cool. But
I'd
I'm a
like a
Nine Inch.
port.
Yeah, I'm a Nine Inch Nails guy. It's good to see him get eaten again. Great presentation. The light show at the beginning. The guys came out dressed up. Very. I mean, they went all out. Very cool. In
That's
terms
what
of
I heard.
presentation and the show, it was great. I'm still not excited about the movie. To be honest, it looks great. I got a feeling it's gonna look good and be
Did
like, eh.
they mention if this is going to have anything to do with the sequel, or is it like in same
No,
world but just clean break?
no, it's not a clean break. It's still in continuation of it because Jeff Bridges, obviously his character is
Right.
continuing here and all that. So I like the different approach to it, focusing more on the real world aspects of it
Right.
and then
Yeah.
crossing over. So I like that approach. I think that works. We'll see. I mean, again, it was two scenes that they showed. I mean, of course they're gonna talk about it. They're all gonna love it because that's what they're supposed to do. And they're gonna say this
Sure.
movie sucks. And so we'll see. We're gonna watch it, but it
Yeah.
looked interesting and nothing else. The soundtrack is cool, and it looks phenomenal. Right?
Worst case scenario, get intoxicated and go watch. That's it.
Exactly. I hope Evan Peters was there, and like Evan Peterson, he's one of the, I guess the main villain or whatever. The
Right.
head of the guy who's running the show or whatever. But
Okay.
look, it looked good. It looked fine.
All right.
I saw the long walk is something long walk looked good.
I mean, that looks interesting,
looks
but it also
interesting.
looks like a very good, intense psychological
Yeah, I'll mention
thriller.
only because Mark Hamill was there in the panel.
Right.
He's playing
Yeah.
like so. It's Mark Hamill.
Royalty. Right. I got
Well,
you.
pay our respects. And,
Yeah, of course.
I think Kevin Smith wasn't that one, but that looked good. Whatever, and fine. We'll do Alien Earth. So went to Alien Earth panel. Actually premiered the first episode of the Alien Earth. So I'll talk
Oh,
about that.
nice.
I'm an Alien guy. I think you are too. But
I literally this past weekend I showed my kids Alien, Alien
Well done.
Romulus, Aliens, and that's it. I didn't let them see anything else. Like that was the only three.
well done. You could just show Alien Aliens. Romulus
I
was
know
fine.
Romulus is good. Fits in the middle.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
My
it's not a
son
bad
was
one.
like the human alien looks like Mark Zuckerberg, and he gave him nightmares.
Okay, fair enough. But so I was curious. I was trying to talk. I was spent a couple days in LA before I went to Comic Con, and I was talking to a
Okay.
friend of mine about it, and like I'm gonna go to the panel. Or he's trying to go to the panel, and I was like, and I swear to God, I knew they're showing an episode or two, and I'm like, if the aliens gonna come out in the first episode, I'm never gonna watch. I'm not watching this show. So that was my fear.
Right.
Peter, of course, fan of the show, he seen a lot of the artwork, and he just was so unimpressed. He hasn't seen the episode, but he's just what he saw visually. He was like he kind of got me down. I was like, man, this is kind of suck.
Right.
Disappointing. Whatever, fine, fair enough. Whatever. But the show first episode, and listen, it was really good. I was
That's
surprised.
great.
I like the direction they went. Basic story that is a group of guys, group of teen picking up some aliens hired by a company, different species, and bringing them back, and it crashes on Earth, and shit goes awry. Right, that's what it is.
Right.
But what I didn't know is that there's a huge focus on what's going on Earth. I guess kind of expanding that mythology with the androids and the cyborgs now, and the synthetics. What are they called? So there's three kinds, and these
Synthetics,
companies,
right.
all these companies are vying for position to have that technology be in the forefront. Right, that's what it's about.
Okay.
Which is cool, right? Because we know synthetics have been around, obviously.
Right.
And now with the androids, now they're putting human consciousness, the beginning of it, and putting it into an android
Right.
body, which is cool, and of course the cyborgs. So that I thought that was cool. That was a good aspect to it. And the people that focus on those who got their consciousness transferred over, who are kids, who they're
Right.
doing, they're not adults, they're going to be at the forefront of hunting down the creatures when
It's
the
a great
ship
way
crashes.
to kill them off and then bring them back.
Right, like so that'd be cool with some kind of and I'm sure they got abilities more because they're robots, right? Whatever, androids. So that I like that. That was really cool. But what was awesome was they show the alien, the
Nice.
the
Xenomorph.
xenomorph, and a couple of times they're like, oh, okay, we're safe here. We're gonna continue watching the show. So that was good. But the vibe, dude, it was like watching Alien One,
Really?
particularly in the beginning when they're in the focus on the ship because
Right,
they
yeah.
have, and I think they did it on purpose. But there's a scene with early on they all gathered around the table talking.
Okay,
Like
right.
almost like what you see in the first Alien.
Right.
That kind of vibe. It looks almost like the same ship.
That's
So
cool.
it had the vibes from the same music.
So a bunch of
was
blinky lights that no one knows is happening.
Right. And I look like the computer room, where Mother is or whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing, all from Alien 1. So it has that aesthetic.
Nice,
It's like, oh, it
nice.
felt like Alien. That was really cool. Some of the horror-esque kind of scenes, the tone was there.
Cool.
They show the alien, It's funny because they don't show what happened in the ship.
Okay.
They kind of flash a couple of things really quick, and all of a sudden it goes from they're just cargoing these creatures to now it's the aliens out loose and it's crashing.
Oh, all right.
So they'll actually show what they might show like the broken glass with the the little
The face hugger.
face hugger is, and then someone's chest, but they don't show anything like how they got to
Ah.
that point. Aliens already out, is fucking shit
So that
up
could be
and
a
whatever.
really cool as the series goes. You see what went wrong, and
That's what I'm thinking they're gonna do.
that's what I'm
So I
thinking too.
kind of want
Yeah,
to see. I was like, yo, slow it down. I want to see what happened. What's going on? It's like starting a Superman road in this world. Like,
yeah.
yo,
Right.
like I want to see it. But it just saw some cool alien action. So it was a really good setup. So I really enjoyed it. Surprised by it. I mean, like, they were talking it up. It gets better and better. Of course it does. Because what are they gonna say?
Yeah. What do you
But
say? After the third episode, we just
oh,
completely lost
oh
the
man,
bag
that
on
shit
it.
goes really bad in the end. But just but it was a really good start. I'm excited, like, because I hope this was Aliens version of Prey. I don't think Romulus was okay, it was solid, but
Okay.
Prey was a really good, like really elevated Predator back to where it should be.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a
Yeah.
moment. I'm hoping this kind of elevates Alien. I know it's gonna be other creatures, and they did show one other alien, kind of like very small, looked like a little worm thing. I think it's gonna grow. I don't know. It was a little
Okay.
bit dark, so I couldn't tell one scene whether it was changing or not.
Okay.
But there's a scene that kind of reminded me of Raptor.
Okay.
So I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
you know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Yeah, if you know that movie,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. Something along
Yeah.
those lines. I was like, ooh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so it looks very good. Like I'm in.
All right.
It's one episode that could suck for the rest of the way, for all I know. But it's a good start. But they did talk about it, the aliens, and they asked the director. Of course they're gonna ask if, there's any future crossover with aliens, and whatever. That was kind of a non-answer with that.
Sure.
I think we
Speaking
all
of
want to see it.
crossovers,
I mean,
let me just
with
put this
Predators. I'm
out.
sorry.
Speaking of comic book crossovers, there is Captain America versus the aliens, but it's set in World War II, where
That's interesting.
Zemo finds xenomorphs, exposes it to Hydra, and they become xenomorphs. And Captain America, the
That's
Howling
funny.
Commandos have to. So there is kind of a crossover, just another crossover you're hoping about.
Still crossover. We'll take it. But maybe, and who knows, right? I would like to see it, but it was really good. It was a good panel, interesting. And then of course I got Predator Badlands was the last one, the other one I went to, which one I was really excited about. They gave us the first 22 minutes of the movie, which is basically the intro scene and all that. And it was not what I expected.
Really?
It really wasn't. I mean, because you know what to expect. It was Predator. Okay, we've seen Predator. We know what's up, right? But Kevin Smith did moderate this one as well, and he's a huge Alien Predator fan and Alien fan. But they was talking about it, and they talked to the director because he brought our first Killer of Killers, because he was kind of going back and saying, "Hey, Prey, what you did with Prey, and then what you did with Killer of Killers." And I text you, and I'm sure by now it's already out anyway, that he had extended the end credit scene for Killer of Killers. Where before it ended with when they showed the girl from Prey, and that was it, right? She's captured or whatever. But then he added an extra scene at the end where now they flash show and you see Daniel Glover's character from Predator 2, and of course we get Dutch from Predator 1, Alien Schwarzenegger in there as well. So that was really cool. I was like, oh shit, and it was dropping that night, so he introduced it that day.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Kevin Smith just he's like, okay, so what does this mean or whatever. So the director, who he calls him Mr. Predator now because he's doing all Predator shit, saying that he actually spoke to Schwarzenegger about this already. They said maybe there's something down there in the works. So I was like, okay. So I'm thinking more animated.
Oh yeah,
right?
because Schwarzenegger's not gonna get ripped.
He's not gonna get it.
Now,
I mean, if he doesn't know Predator and he's an older version of himself and whatever, he's like he leads a team or he's the guy behind the team. Fine.
Whoa! I watched True Bar. He's not doing it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Listen, in different hands, he can be better. I'm just saying. But I'm thinking anime. I that would be cool as shit if they do, because they don't show
if
that.
If it's animated, it'd be great.
Yeah, they're not gonna show that for no reason, just for
right.
Look, the girl from Prey. It would be cool to see them three at the survive or whatever, whoever.
Absolutely.
Because they show someone else. I think. Well, there's more people there, but that'd be cool. We bring Switch and use his voice for it. Fair enough. And Daniel Glover. That would be super cool. So I'm like, oh, so I know there's something in the works, and he kind of alluded to it. He didn't come out and say it directly, but you read between lines, it seems like he's cooking up something. That's
cool.
Interesting. I think that's interesting as shit.
So the guy's name is Dan Trachtenberg, right?
Trachtenberg, yes.
Yeah, so he's essentially the Kevin Feige of the Predator.
Apparently it is, because this will be his third one, Predator the Badlands, coming out soon. But so he gets into this, and I like the premise of it, because we've seen the trailer. The trailer was awesome. They dropped a new trailer. Right. It's great. It looks great. But he's talking about he wanted to do something different, because he knew we've seen, like, even with aliens, you've seen this. You gotta mix it up. It can't be the same thing. It gets boring, right? So the perspective of now the protagonist is the Predator is unique.
Yeah.
Because he talked about, he's like, listen, the Predator is awesome. He's badass. Of course he is. He's badass, but he's always being up by a human.
Right.
And he's like, well, how badass is he really? If we got Go from Prey and everyone's winning
Right.
against the Predator, is he that? He looks it. So he want to take the approach is like, no, let's make him formidable in some ways and make that the protagonist. So
Sure.
there is the guy who played him, the Predator, because they use all practical effects for the most part. With the
Sweet.
suit, there's no CGI. That's great.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, right? Really cool. And they show some scenes that look pretty cool. I think they did like the mandibles, just
Right.
some of that CG and all that, but for the
Of
most part,
course,
the
just
suit
to
is
heighten
right.
it. Right. Yeah.
Of course, you have to. That's who we're kidding. But they developed their own language,
Cool.
so
Which,
that's
if
cool.
you saw Killers, they were putting right there.
Correct, exactly. So that's gonna be emphasized here. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, he said it's bonkers. A lot of stuff they haven't shown in the trailer, which we'll be pleased by. Kevin Smith actually saw the film.
I heard as
He liked it a
well.
lot. He thought it was great, but it's Kevin Smith,
Right,
so
because Smith likes a lot of stuff, and
he
like,
likes
no
everything.
shame in
He
the game.
likes it all.
Sometimes you accuse me of liking too many things too.
That's
I
fair.
get it. Not if it
That's
is.
fair.
I will say this: something you've not mentioned, and I listened to Kevin Smith's podcast, and he
Mhm.
mentioned it during the Badlands presentation. There was a dude that came out dressed as the Predator King.
Oh yeah, yeah. At the beginning, so it started off. They turned the lights down, and then it was the main character, the main Predator, or whatever from this film. That their father came out.
Right.
The
Okay.
character, but big giant. Oh shit! And then they showed his perspective per se, and in the screens it was the audience, but it was all like the red, like that heat sensor.
That's awesome.
Now it was very cool. It was very cool. And he was up there. He was talking. I couldn't understand what he was saying, obviously, but he came out. That was really cool. And then Kevin Smith came out, so that was a nice little intro to that. And it showed
That's cool.
a montage of the prior Predators and stuff
Nice.
like that. That was really cool.
So the Predator that showed up was not the Predator King from Killer
No.
Killers. Ah,
Oh,
because did he have the cape full of the xenomorph tails?
I don't think so, because it was only from the front, so I don't
Oh,
think he
okay.
had a cape on. I don't think he had a cape. But he had like a
All right.
little, I don't know, like a crown, I guess, whatever you want to call it,
Sure.
on his head. I don't remember if he had that in the Killer Killers. I don't know.
I think he may have. So yeah.
I'm not sure. I go back. I'm not sure. But that was really cool. That was interesting. But the show, first 20 minutes is you're in the Predator world, whatever it is, and he's not spoiler. Because he's the younger of the two. It's like brothers.
Right.
The main character's younger brother. He's trying to be the Predator, but no one thinks he's got what it takes.
So
Right?
he's the runt of the Predator. clan.
Exactly. He's the redheaded
Right.
stepchild of the Predator world, right?
Okay.
And his big brother, he's fighting his big brother. Have a cool scene. Some of it was still. It's funny because they didn't mention it in the beginning. They said, "Hey, not everything is finished. Don't complain. If you've been warned, there's been some CG stuff that's still not done yet. They're rendering, so some scenes were just kind of rendering,
Sure.
mixed in with that. So it's fine. But they gave us that warning. That was pretty funny, and that's the version that Kevin Smith saw, like that same thing, like all the way through.
Right.
But yeah, so cool scene with him and his brother going at it, and he's training him, whatever, he's helping him, whatever the case is. And then the one that came out in the beginning of the show, the introduction, he's actually the father,
Aha.
and he comes
Okay.
out. So there's a scene with them that they're all talking their language, and I won't spoil what that dynamic was, but it was an interesting way to set things off, and now we understand why he's going off to this world, right, chasing down this creature which is no one's ever defeated, or whatever the case is.
Sure.
Right?
Like he's
That's
the only way to establish my rep is by going for the biggest thing.
right,
and
biggest,
taking that out.
exactly, and show my follower what's up, right?
Right.
So you got a little. It's just kind of cool to see that. We've never seen that. I was expecting that. I wasn't sure what to expect, to be honest with you, but I didn't
Right.
think we're gonna get that kind of like these characters from this world we've never really seen like in that fashion before. So
Right.
that was cool and looked really cool. And that was a really cool scene. And as soon as he takes off to go to, that's when they stopped the footage.
Okay.
It's about 20 minutes. I think it was about 20 minutes from what they said. 20
Pretty
minutes.
solid. Now
It looked really
the
good. It
new
looked good.
trailer also dropped as well, and
Yeah.
we figured out that girl is a synthetic from the
Synthetic.
alien world, Weyland Yutani, right?
Correct. I thought, yeah. I don't know if they've actually mentioned that in the panel.
Well, you see her, like
But you do see, yeah.
the W,
Right. I think it could be from that world, right? For whatever synthetics, exactly. So they said there's no human character. I don't think he said it's a very minimal human. The focus is not on human characters, whatever they are.
Right. But she's not human. She's
exactly,
almost
yeah.
like a C-3PO
Right.
to
And
a situation.
well, he mentioned that he was inspired because the scene where he's carrying her on his back, and it was that
That's
C-3PO.
Empire.
Right, exactly. Chewbacca. So he did mention that was inspiration for that, which is, it's obvious. You can look at it and say,
Sure.
okay, yeah. But he came out and said it's not
Now-
like it was an original idea, and it just ended up being something like that. But so that was.
Did you
cool. But
watch the trailer, the new trailer that dropped?
Yeah, I saw the new one.
So
I
you
saw it
saw
that
that
day.
they even have the mech suit from
Yeah,
Aliens.
oh, that's right. They had the mech suit or a mech suit. Yeah.
Right.
So like I said, he's because Karen Smith also asked him about the crossover, and he didn't say no. It wasn't like quite as like with the Schwarzenegger kind of comments, but
Right. Right.
if anyone can do it, I would love this guy to take a crack at it because
I mean, he
God,
seems to be having a. I don't want to give him so much credit, but so far 2 for 2.
just two for
So
two in the big way, not just they were all right, they were
yeah,
good, like really
solid, like
good,
really
really
solid.
good, right?
Yeah.
So if this one hits, I mean, give him a crack at it. I mean, I think that was such a huge misfire with the original. It
So
just
what you're saying is,
God,
if,
terrible.
if if he knocks this one out of the park, next movie, Aliens, Predator, Endgame.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Just bring it home, dude.
Let's
Put the
do it.
Marvel, bring in Iron Man in there. Fuck it, why not? But
It's
look,
all
the
Disney.
footage look, yeah, the footage look really cool. So I'm excited about that for sure. So I'm looking for it. We actually went to the like a Predator Badlands activation outside and all like a bar.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
you go in, they give you a few drinks. You go in there and the worlds were created. And you saw a picture of it in one of the pictures. But that the one picture with the android laying down before she's whatever cut in half or whatever happens to her.
Right.
I think you look in some other pile, the thing jumps at you.
Oh,
The
that's
face
cool.
hugger and the bars all designed up. It's very cool. I'm excited about this one. This is one I'm most excited about in terms of the movies, in terms of that, because only because of the same guy. If this
Right.
was another director,
Little iffy, but so
but
far 2 for 2, and this guy
look,
gets
yeah,
he gets
he
what
gets
makes
it.
this world
Yeah,
work.
he
So
has a good handle on what he's doing, and I
yeah,
like that approach of making him the protagonist. It's no longer him against humans. We've seen that 1,000 times.
sure. Or at least
I
three.
at least so more no more than that. The first two predators like that. The
Oh yeah, then the
predators,
Predators, and then the Predator.
predator,
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
yes,
Yeah,
they're all like that, right? For the most part, even
sure.
Angel's predator was still humans in there.
Yeah, fair, fair.
They're in
Yeah,
the way. Who cares? But that's why I like the android idea. That's a
yeah.
smart way to go. It's not human. It's an
Right,
android. Doesn't really
right.
count, and it
Uh
still
huh.
got a human face to it, so we can.
Sure.
So that was cool. And she actually said that when he was carrying her, it was actually her on his back. A lot of times, like it
Oh
wasn't.
wow.
And they designed these harnesses to kind of help that guy maintain that weight and all that.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but come
Smart.
on, it's
Yeah.
way
Another person is another
It's
person.
another person, and she's a tall. She's not small. She's not dimension. I think Fanny, one of the Fanny sisters. She's actually pretty tall. So that's not easy to do, but particularly with all the
But
all the shit he's got on and shit.
yeah,
That's a
on
lot, dude.
top of that, it's the suit and then a
Right.
person.
And then a person, and then the rugged
Yeah.
terrain. It's not like he's
Uh
walking on the
huh. Yeah.
sidewalk. He's on the jungle, whatever the hell he is. So that was kind
Listen,
of cool.
my daughter is 15 and my son is 12, and I picked them up and I put them over my shoulders, and it took 3 steps, and I was like, I'm gonna put you guys down now.
So that's enough. Hey, that's how it is, right? Even babies are right, like 10 pounds. Yeah, after like 10 minutes, you're like, fuck this, man.
Yeah.
Where's that crib? So imagine having to carry that. That's good, but that just shows how they didn't rely on the CG. They wanted
Right.
as more authentic as possible.
Yes.
Obviously, it's going to be a ton of CG. Who we're kidding, but at least for the those big shots, they're not. So I like that. So that was really cool, man. That was really cool to see. We got Peacemaker dropped this trailer, and again, we all saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Great. I can't
Solid.
wait for that. I can't wait for that.
Super excited.
I'm excited for that.
And also, I mean, the sort of like a fast track announcement. Eyes of Wakanda coming out this Friday, August 1st.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to come out end of August, and they bumped it up to the front. I was like,
yes.
all right, cool.
I guess, yeah. So we'll look forward to that. I mean, I don't know. Did you like? I thought this is way off topic, but since we're on TV stuff, the Sandman dropped. It's two
I just
parts.
found out last weekend. I can't totally over my head. I got to
Okay.
jump on that. I'm
It's
watching
good.
that.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about next week. It's good.
Yeah.
The last episode was, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a fan of last episode.
Oh,
It
really?
didn't ruin. Yeah, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want to say anything. And whatever, you watch and we'll talk about it. But no, it wasn't terrible. But
Did somebody
it was.
wake up and goes, "Oh, it was all a dream."
Oh no, it wasn't. Oh my god, which actually would have fit in this one.
Were they in a snow globe?
And then look, hey, Morpheus is carrying him.
Did you hear Notorious B.I.G.? Oh, it was all a dream.
That would have been. I mean, he told me that it was the greatest ending ever. It was okay, but it just like I said, I won't say anything. But it was good. I enjoyed it. Overall, the series was good. Just
Okay.
the last episode, I thought kind of missed the mark. I thought personally.
All
But
right,
it's
all
good.
right.
You like it, yeah.
Now you got me excited to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, up till then, it was very good.
All
You know,
right.
they stuck a lot with what we read before. Some stuff were made and some changes, but nothing
All right.
major. They can't do the whole stories in there. Obviously, it's impossible. But it's really good, so I enjoyed
They
that.
probably thought they had 5 seasons before Neil Gaiman screwed the
Well,
pooch.
probably, yeah. So
Yeah.
condensing the two, that's no small feat, but I thought they did a
Uh-huh.
pretty good job aside from that last episode for me.
Okay.
So it was good. We'll talk about that later. But no, so yeah, so excited, Naked Gun, dude, hilarious, by the way.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it on Monday. It's funny as hell, dude.
Oh my god, I'm so
It,
excited. I'm watching it this weekend. I got it like locked
it's
in.
ridiculous, dumb, stupid as shit, but that's exactly what we wanted to see,
That's
right?
perfect.
In the way that the originals were. It's in that vein, dude. The theater was laughing a lot. It wasn't just me.
Oh my
Sometimes,
god, that's such a relief to
yeah,
hear.
yeah. I mean, so many jokes. Not all of them hit. A lot of them don't hit, but some do. And when they hit, oh my god! And it just, I'll say there's one montage. I won't say what it is. There's a montage scene with Pam Anderson, who's not bad by the way, surprisingly enough, and Liam Neeson. The kind of the romance thing going like we saw like an original with Presley.
Yeah.
Like if I tell you what it was,
No.
you think this is the stupidest movie made in the
Don't.
history of
No.
mankind. I
Don't.
won't say.
Don't.
I'm not gonna say it, but that scene, oh my god, it's so ridiculous. It's amazing.
Dude.
It's
So
amazing.
when my kids were in town, I already introduced my kids to all the Naked Guns. That's already done. So when they're in town, I was showing them a bunch of the movies. So I show them Hot Shots 1 and 2,
Well done.
and
No airplane.
no, because there's boobs in airplanes. So
Well,
I
quick
know.
scene though. It's a quick
I
scene.
know, but my son's 12. I don't want to be accused of nothing, so I
Because that's the
gotta.
best. I think for me, airplane's always
But
been the
you
best.
know
But
what? I did show them as well. Top Secret.
okay, there you go. That's another good one too.
And Top
Um,
Secret has got a whole vibrating anal.
yeah, yeah. Actually, that's you can
So
show that and that show some
I
girl
was
with
like,
the tits out.
don't worry about that. That's gonna
Yeah,
be.
I get it. I get it. There's one scene, but listen, but it's ridiculous. Those movies are ridiculous. We know this, right?
Oh yeah,
But they're just funny as hell, and it's in that.
absolutely.
It's very cool. Like they kind of give a modern look to old.
That's good.
The jokes that we know. Some jokes are coming because
Sure.
you and I we've seen this movie 1,000 times. We're so familiar with like when they say something. Oh, okay, it
Here,
still
yeah,
works, but we know what's up, right?
absolutely.
But there's a lot of great side guys. Side guys, word placement, word,
But by the
the
way,
literal dialogue that it's funny, very cool.
I,
You
I
like it?
got I gotta say this. Rewatching Top Secret again. I forgot how funny it is that all the dudes in the Resistance are named after French things,
Yeah, yeah,
both cuisines and food, which is
yeah.
or in terms of phrases and food, which are great.
It was a deja vu.
A deja vu, and the
Yeah,
black guy's called Chocolate Mousse. Like
yeah.
my son cackled at Chocolate Mousse. He's like, "Oh my god!" Like tears coming out of his face.
That is
And
it's a
and then
classic movie,
when we
man.
watched Hot Shots 2, there were two jokes that I forgot and they were there. One is because Hot Shots 1 is more of a pistache of Top Gun, but Hot Shots 2 is more of a Rambo pistache, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, in Rambo 3 where they have to go find him in Tibet and he's training with Tibet. Uh, there's a whole thing where he's in like a ring fight, like kind of thing. And while they're fighting, they're panning through the crowd, and there's a bunch of Asian girls dressed up as Laker girls. But instead of the Lakers, it's an R because Asians can't pronounce L's.
Oh,
I was like, oh my god! And my son's like, I don't know if I should laugh at this or not. And my daughter's like, if I'm laughing, am I going to get in trouble? I'm like, I don't have answers to any of this right now.
it's
I'm
funny. It's
just,
funny, dude. It is what it is. I don't give a shit.
it
Funny is
is,
funny.
it is what it is. And
It's
then
all
the
good
other
fun,
joke that was really stupid but so much fun is when they were pointing at the country they have to invade. It's between Iraq and the other country's called the hard place. I was like,
it's,
bravo! You did
it's
it.
it's so stupid, but it's hilarious. It is what it is, right? I mean, if you, yeah, I think you really gonna like Naked Gun because we're familiar with that shit. Well, I
Yeah,
saw even a couple
absolutely.
of friends of mine who are a little bit younger who haven't seen those movies before, and I'm
Oh,
thinking, I wonder how they're gonna react to this. One guy wasn't a big fan. The other
okay.
guy, he was laughing the whole time. He said it was very funny. He said it's so stupid. I didn't know it'd be this stupid, but
Right,
they
but
said
it's so stupid.
but
It
the
becomes
jokes were
hilarious.
hitting. The jokes were. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, right? If it's
Yeah, that's
take it
exactly
seriously,
it.
it's not gonna work. And Liam Neeson is great. I mean, and end credits. Just straight to the end credits.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, just before it's like 89-minute movie. So
Perfect.
short, perfect, exactly. I think the original was the same way. Quick in and out, but funny as hell. It works, dude. Like I always
Yeah,
want to see it again. I was laughing somewhere. I think I missed a few jokes. I haven't
I'm
laughed that
sure.
hard in a while at
Easy.
a movie theater.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
exciting to hear. That's
exactly. I
awesome.
was super excited. This one could have gone wrong very easily.
Oh yeah, super easy,
Easily,
super easy.
yeah, it's been a while since we got this kind of spoof films because the last
Right.
ones have been dog shit.
Yeah.
Those are like the
Like
Spartans and the scary,
I
not scary movie.
hated. I honestly I really hated everything after Scary Movie 2. Just bad. Scary
Yes,
Movie 1
terrible.
was like
Yeah. It
fine,
was
but
fine. It
Scary
wasn't
Movie
great. It was
2
fine.
and then everything came off after that was just so bad.
Garbage. And there's no wonder why they don't make this anymore. It
Right.
could work if you do them well and you do it with the respect it deserves, right?
Right. You got to
And
be
it
smart
works.
to be that dumb.
You
Yeah.
really do. Really, there's
Yeah.
some really good scenes. Like I definitely like, man. I found my wife wants to go. She likes Naked Guns. It's like I told her this movie's funny. We should maybe go try to make some time to watch
Nice.
it. I go
Nice.
see that again. It's that funny. It really
All
is.
right.
I'll pay the money. You'll enjoy. We'll talk about it. You know, I'll get your thoughts on that next week and
And
stuff.
next
But
week for sure.
yeah, that definitely it's funny as hell, man. But that said, that's definitely good news for everybody. That said, those are the nuggets for the week.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all the love and support. Let us know what you thought about San Diego Comic Con, what your favorite news was. Maybe we didn't cover it. Let us know about that. Let us know what you think about the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise. Have you seen the new credit scene from Killer of Killers? What did you think about Superman? What did you think about Fantastic Four? Which one was the better movie? What was the thing you didn't like? We want to know all the things. Let us know. Don't forget to go to dangersquad.com to pick up my comic book there. Danger Squad, available for digital release. All there for you as well. So if you're a nerd with parent or a nerd who just likes Gravity Falls, Stranger Things, Scooby Doo, get that book as well. Go to ericdasilva.com, ERICDASILVA to pick up my album, Durably Offensive. Listen to all the original audio episodes for our series as well. Or go to YouTube at the Latin Nerd Network where you can check out shows such as Nerdsplaining and Thanos' Choice and The Watch List and other shows coming to you as well. Guys, once again, I've been Eric Da Silva. This has been Jose Romero. He met James Gunn, and we have been Nerdsplaining. And if you don't know, now you know. Boom.
Bam.